Hi guys, my name's Barry and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be breaking down the trailer or the final trailer for the Conjuring The Last Rites. Now I'm a massive fan of the Smurl case. When I say a fan, obviously I don't like to see what happens to people if it's bad, but I was a massive fan of the Smurl haunting. I was a huge fan of the movie The Haunted back in 1991, so hopefully with this trailer breakdown, there's maybe some things that I've noticed because I know about the case more than maybe you've noticed yourself. So if you don't want to be spoiled by anything, then maybe don't watch this video. However, I can promise you this, I don't know anything else more than you. So whatever I talk about today is just pure speculation. Okay, so we're starting off in 1986. And something that I noticed in this trailer that I just completely missed in the first trailer is the house. The house is identical to the original house in real life. So they're definitely going for what it seems to be the real Smurl family with all the real names, just like they do with the other families beforehand. I wasn't sure they were going to go through with the real names for the Smurl family because I didn't know how much of the rights that they got for the original story. But it looks like they're going the full way. Now you can see there's a scene where they're in a studio. You can see it's live on air and they're recording something in an audience. And I do remember, I'll need to look it up, but I remember there was an interview with Ed and Lorraine and they were getting not harassed, but they were getting questioned live on TV and it made them look stupid, which it did. It made them look stupid. And I think they're going to show that on here because they are talking with Jack and Janet Smurl in an interview somewhere back in the mid-80s, 1986 or so, and I'm sure they're going to show that in this movie. Here you've got Janet Smurl doing an interview near the house, so I'm guessing this is when the news crew start coming in and questioning what's happening to the family, and I'm assuming this is before the Warrens come in, because the Warrens don't come in till around about 1986, but the possession and the hauntings were going on with the Smurls from way back. I think it was around about 1974. We saw this scene in trailer 1, but I'm showing it again because I think this is the only scene in this trailer where you see Jack's father and mother. Their names are John and Mary Smurl. The rest of the kids and the mum and dad are in this scene as well. You've got Jack Smurl, who's the father, Janet Smurl, who's the mother, and the 4 daughters are Dawn, Heather, Shannon and Karen, and then of course the grandparents, John and Mary Smurl. I'll tell you something though guys, Rebecca Calder, who plays Janet Smurl, she's on point. She looks great as Janet Smurl. And she also kind of reminds me of the original Janet Smurl. I don't know what it is. She obviously doesn't look anything like her in real life, but there's just something about her, the aura that we get from her character in the trailer. It looks great. I mean, we do get some of the usual scenes that you get in a Conjuring movie with some of the way the camera movements are, and it's quite good because this isn't a James Wan movie, this is Michael Chavez, so some of the scenes do look quite frightening. They use the darkness and they use the lights around the living room in this scene. It looks pretty good. I like the way they do it. We also get the usual Ed and Lorraine Warren going to somebody else's house, recording an audio tape rather than a videotape, and this is 1986, so surely they can get video quality this time and not audio, but they record the family explaining what's happened to them. They'll probably take the tape back to the house and they'll maybe hear something, but obviously in this scene, Lorraine doesn't just hear something, she feels something behind her. She'll do her usual investigating, she'll look around, she'll probably see some dead people, and that's what you see in the original movie from 1991, The Haunted, where the original Lorraine Warren character goes around and she sees some ghosts around there, but she doesn't see anything sinister, whereas in this one she's obviously going to be connected to that original demon. This is Lorraine Warren explaining to the Smurl family that the demon that is haunting their house is a demon that they've encountered before, the original demon from back in 1970.
It's the first one that we ever encountered.
That first demon was called Malthus. That's Annabelle's demon. It was the case from 1970 in Connecticut. This was the demon that impersonated the spirit of a young girl named Annabelle Higgins in order to possess that Raggedy Ann doll. This wasn't a ghost, but a non-human, a demonic entity seeking possession of a human soul. In the real world, Smurl, this demon wasn't originally named, but in Annabelle Creation and Annabelle Comes Home, it is retroactively referred to as Malthus. This demon manipulates events to try and possess a soul using deception and fear. Its true appearance is horned and monstrous, and its form is only really seen in glimpses and shadows. But it looks like they're adding more lore to this very demon, going back to when Ed and Lorraine Warren were really young and first truly encountered this demon. Originally, they encountered the demon in 1970 when they were still older adults, just before the parent family. But in this one, from the looks of the trailers, they are younger, a lot younger than they were in the original Conjuring movie. So I feel like they're going to be giving us more of a dramatised way of them being introduced to this demon. We'll probably see this demon in many forms, including the Annabelle doll. As you can see here, it says Miss Me, so we probably will get Annabelle. In fact, we have seen Annabelle in the trailer. So for traditional purposes, for the Conjuring universe, we will get Annabelle. But remember, that demon that possesses Annabelle is Malthus, the very demon that they're going to be tackling in this movie. Now, this is where the problems start to begin. We see Judy here. I originally didn't know this was Judy from trailer 1. I thought this was the older daughter of the Smurl family, which would have made sense. However, this girl is Mia Tomlinson, and she's playing Judy Warren, the daughter of the Warrens. And she will be playing a crucial role in the plot. She's no longer a secondary child character, but she's got an emotional and a psychic anchor in this final installment. The director, Michael Chavez, he confirms that this story explores the themes of the legacy, the family, and the inheritance that Judy inherits with that clairvoyance from her mother and her father. She's going to have her boyfriend in this one, Tony Spira, who ends up becoming her husband in real life, and he's played by Ben Hardy. So when I'm looking at scenes like this, when you can see like an evil Judy attacking the normal Judy, initially I thought that was the oldest Smurl daughter who attacks herself, and then she ends up attacking her dad, Jack, because that's what happens in the original story, and that's what happens in the haunted movie. So again, that would have made sense, but the fact that it's Judy, then that's just all changed. We do get some cool scenes where you see the doll there, and then you can see one of the daughters pulling some sort of hair out of her mouth. I know that we're going to get a lot of dramatisation from what actually happened in real life, so this is just what we're going to see happen. I'm liking the look of this version of the demon Malthus here. This, to me, is probably going to be the Annabelle demon. So when you see this man, when you see the other dolls, when you see the Annabelle doll, I feel like this is going to be the one demon that's taken over this household. This is a cool shot of the Smurls here. Now, this is very reminiscent of the Amityville horror when they're out in the rain and they're trying to get away from the house. This might be the end of the movie when they're getting out of the house. I don't know, but we have to remember that they've got their parents as well, John and Mary Smurl, so they're not in that scene, but the other 6 are there. This is Ben Hardy here. He plays Tony Spiro. He is the boyfriend at the time of Judy. He's obviously not going to die. The actual Tony Spira is in the movie himself. I don't know who he's playing, but he's been credited in the film, so he's obviously alive and living. This scene I'm looking forward to. This is Jack Smurl being lifted from his bed. As you can see below, that's Janet Smurl lying in bed. He and Janet are attacked in bed numerous times in real life, and the way they portrayed it in the movie from 1991, The Haunted, was great. It was very scary. So if they can top that, I'll be happy. There's Annabelle there. Just a little glimpse of Annabelle. Not sure how much she's going to be playing or how much of a role the doll itself is going to be playing in the movie. However, like I said, the demon that's using Annabelle will be the major demon. It looks like Ed is having a heart attack here. Ed doesn't really have a heart attack in real life, especially at that stage of his life. I think he has a stroke in 2001, and he's not able to speak for the rest of his life until he passes away in 2006. So if anything happens to Ed in this, it's obviously for dramatised purposes, because they do deal with Ed's health before that in the previous movies, so that'll be a continuation in this one. Again, I'm loving the look of the street. You can see the house at the left hand side, you can see the lightning bolt hitting the road. This is probably when the family run out of the house because something's happening. Again, there's some quick cut shots that I don't actually know what's happening. There's the shots are too short for us to even guess what's happening. There's a scene out in the street where a car's bashed into the fence. Maybe someone's trying to get to the house in a hurry because something's happening, or there's people trying to get away. Lorraine seems like she's in a lot of distress throughout this entire trailer, and in this scene here, she's obviously fighting whatever demon it is that's coming towards her, or maybe a loved one is in trouble. Malthus, again, I'm assuming it's Malthus, and if it is, I think the form that Malthus will take throughout the movie mostly will be this creepy looking man, because you see him throughout the trailer and he does look like the creepiest version of Malthus or the demon in this trailer, so I hope that they'll use that look throughout the movie mostly. There is a scene here, and I don't know if it's a hallucination by Lorraine, but she's got a lot of blood on her here, and there's someone with an axe trying to get to her. I don't know if that's the demon trying to chase her, or if it's someone who has been possessed, who's genuinely killed someone in the movie and is going after Lorraine. So time will tell with that one. That will be interesting to see if it's a hallucination or it's really happening. I do feel, however, the focus seems to be heavily moving towards Judy rather than the Smurl family. The Smurl's connection to this whole movie only seems to be the demon that latched onto their family that the Warrens are trying to get rid of, and it's potentially because it's latched itself onto Judy that the Warrens are taking part. Now, all of this is speculation, of course, and none of it seems to be what actually happened in real life. So my worry is, I love the fact that they're doing the Smurl haunting, but I don't love the fact that none of this looks anything like it did in the book and in The Haunted from 1991. So that's the breakdown for The Conjuring, The Last Rites. And as always, guys, if I have missed anything out or maybe misinterpreted something, then leave your thoughts and opinions down below. And thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you soon.
I'll be right back.
What are you waiting for, huh?
Coming to get you, Barbara.
Ever played Skin the Cat?
Someone's in the back!